All right, all right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Steve's Guitars. We're having a little humor tonight, but before we get into that, we need to send some shout-outs. We want to thank our good friends at PM Consulting Limited and Feldman Wirtz Law Firm up in Aspen. These folks are kind enough to support our streaming efforts. Couldn't do it without them. We want to thank GrassRoots Community Network. They host our streams. Couldn't do it without them either. We also want to thank our good friends, the Standiford clan, for having this amazing space, which, of course, is the whole reason we're doing this in the first place. We want to thank you for being here. We want to thank you for being online if you are online. Supporting these live events is a really good thing to do. Lets people know that you appreciate their art. And without any further ado, once again, please put your hands together for Patio Night Live.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Steve's Guitars.
Give it up for Ralph, everybody. Woo! Let's hear it for Ralph.
Ralph, and big shout out to Steve at home watching this. Steve, we love you. Steve's Guitars. Hey, welcome in.
What's up, everybody? How y'all feeling? Give these two people that walked in a big round of applause.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes. My name's Beth Brandon.
I think I'm Miller Ford.
This is Miller Ford. I didn't know if he wanted to say it. Or
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And we are your co-hosts. And, don't leave.
Oh, look, it's Mario.
Yeah, we knew
Mario's
this was going to happen.
Here.
See, this is why we held it just a little bit.
We held it for Mario. What's up, Mario? Yes,
everybody,
dude.
this is Mario.
Oh, my God. Good to see you.
Great to see you.
We got you guys 3 seats right up front.
Where's your brother?
I mean, Luigi? Oh, he's in prison. He's in prison right now. Luigi's awaiting federal trial. That's
all right. Yes, this is correct. So we're just going to do a quick little, we'll tell you about how Patio Night Live started, because I know you're all dying to know. This is real meat-heavy crowd tonight, you guys.
Yeah.
A lot of meat in the audience.
Meat heavy.
And that means dudes. You're also meat in a different way, but you just brought the ladies. Just thank you, Tanya, girlfriend. Nice to see you. Tried to refer somebody to you for highlights this week, but they couldn't get into you. Okay, so we like to fart around for a little bit on stage. The history of Patio Night Live is this. 5 years ago, in the dark days of the pandemic, we were both friends already and did stand-up comedy together, and I was saving the world 1/8 at a time because I managed a dispensary and I was essential.
She was essential.
I was wearing gloves, I had the mask on, and I was like, let me save you with this ounce of concentrate.
But she was raw dogging $1 bills with her hands.
I was.
Raw dog.
I got rid of the gloves eventually because it just felt better to count the cash with my bare hands. But that's a different joke for another time. Miller was accepting checks from the government, riding his bike around Aspen because he worked at a bar and was like, this is so fun. And I was stressed out. And he was like, do you want to do stand-up? I got the keys to this nightclub I can't work at right now. Do you want to do stand-up there and put it on social media, mostly for our moms, but for anybody who's at home?
I want to know if you guys can take a wild guess of what that nightclub was. It's no longer in Aspen. It was a nightclub that was pretty notorious. Oh, there we go. Anybody do some time at Bootsy Bellows? That's also we like to refer to as ground zero for COVID.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's where we did our first show, really.
Yeah. And we used to use things like a kitchen spatula, or one time I used my vibrator as a microphone because we were just on, using our phones, putting it on social media.
It's good.
He's got a hot mic, you guys. Hot mic. Woo!
I told him to come. I told him to come. And then after we did the dildo mics, I used a whip once. We were having fun down there. And then we
went to my front porch because I had a great patio, the courtyard where I lived. Everybody was able to socially distance and be on their porch with their social pods and have a fun time. We did a half an hour of comedy between the two of us, and that is where Patio Night Live
That's where
was
it came
born.
from. That's where it came. Hence us here tonight.
And now we tour up and down the valley, up and down, up and down, up and down.
We're like a modern day Partridge family, you know,
We
without
are-
the instruments.
Yeah, we are not even
Without the
regional.
talent.
We are just valley-wide. But we are glad you guys came out on this winter night to enjoy live comedy here at Steve's, because it's always great. Always feels like it's kind of like a living room performance.
Yes, it
You
does.
man.
Can you say that one more time?
Snowing.
That was the longest snowing I've ever heard in my life.
So what else were we gonna like riff about
I don't-
before
we-
it's
I
not
think
Mario
that's- I-
time?
I
It's like
think
not
it's-
all Mario all the time.
I think we were going to talk a little bit about
Oh,
how
yeah. How
I
long
quit
have
how I quit smoking
Oh yeah.
2 days
No.
ago.
And
Yeah,
let's
suck it,
let's
yeah.
clarify that.
I tell you.
Let's clarify that. He didn't just quit smoking, which if he quit smoking, I'd be like, well, good for you.
cool.
You're going to die the good old-fashioned way, smoking butts. No. He quit vaping.
I quit vaping. I was a vapor.
Thank
oh, thank you. Yeah,
God.
see, these people, they clap for me.
Yeah, they're clapping because you quit.
I don't look like a pussy anymore.
Yeah, that's what I said last time. I'm like, who vapes?
I didn't
You're
think
a
it made me look
pussy.
like a pussy. I mean, I thought it was like very sophisticated. I could smoke inside.
I'm like, would James Dean have been like, I'm going to puff on this
That's a good
strawberry banana?
Yes,
No.
exactly. I think I have to agree. Anytime I agree with any man wearing a kilt. Anytime in my life, I agree with him. I agree with him. But I think that one of the like side effects for like quitting smoking should definitely be want to choke a motherfucker, because that's what's been happening lately. I don't care what's happening. I am just very, I guess, edgy.
Oh, you itchy.
I'm edgy. I'm
You be
edgy.
edgy,
But it's
okay.
not like the Mormon way.
He's not edging.
It's
He's edgy.
I think that's good. I think we hit the 5. We'll end on an edging joke.
Okay, we'll end with edging. Okay.
With the edging joke. And these wonderful these like plushies,
know.
these plushies on the mic.
They're good.
I just can't wait to get this show started. So we're going to bring up our first comedian. I'm so stoked to have her here with us tonight. She started doing comedy not too long ago, but I saw her do a set, and I was like, I cannot wait to have that person come and perform for one of the Patio Night Live shows. And she was kind enough to say yes. Nope, she said yes, Mario, and she's here tonight. So let's put our hands together for Layla Goldberg. Yeah, let's hear it for her.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I'm thrilled to be here. You seem like an awesome crowd. Right? Mario, is that your name? That's Mario. We're so happy to have you here. You're awesome. It was just Valentine's Day, which meant I had to do a cleanup on Isle Bush, right? Trim the garden. You know what I'm talking about, right? Shave the darn bush. In case someone was interested in what I was putting down. It's not that kind of show, my friend. In case someone was interested in what I was putting down, which is HPV. Shit, yeah. The bush. This guy once asked me, like, is it a Colorado thing? I was like, no, I'm a lazy piece of shit thing. I have enough hours in the day to trim the garden if I wanted to, but I'm busy. I'm busy doing shit. I'm busy pulling hairs out of my butthole in the shower. Yes. Amen. Is that not the best fucking feeling in the world? Leave the front, take the back. What does that mean? Oh, leave it how it is. That's how I leave it how it is. What? You don't want friction. Mario, what do you do? What's... Oh, you manscape, don't you? No,
I got Gorilla Tape.
Gorilla tape. I'm a hairy motherfucker as well. Takes a lot. But I'm busy. I'm busy watching Instagram videos of teenagers covering up their farts in classrooms. I don't have time to shave. They're like, it's super entertaining. But yeah, I am a slut. I'm a slut. I had to do... Thank you so much. Yes, my dad's in the audience. He's also very proud. But yeah, I had to do an STD test Anyone? Just me. Oh, yep. Okay, right? We had to do, I guess it's different for guys. They don't shove a 12-inch metal pole up there. That wasn't, yeah, that was part of it was a 12-inch metal pole. So really it was just another day for me. You're right. It's much better than that. It was, because my ex was 1/12 of that. So on that day, so when she was giving me the pole up there, I was like, amazing, can you go a bit faster? Bit to the left. She's like, get the fuck out of my office. I'm like, can you at least tell me the results? She's like, they're positive. I'm like, that's negative. That's negative for me. But it's positive for my sister because she loves the fact that I have an STD because she can use it against me in any argument. I'll be like, can you stop shitting in my toilet? You have your own. And she'll say, can you stop having HPV, you slut? So it's just our little fun back and forth. And I'm like, yeah, we have a great relationship. I also have a great relationship with my mom who compliments my driving, which is super sweet, except for the fact that I've been doing it for 7 years. Right? So when someone gives you a compliment on something you've been doing a really long time, it's kind of less of a compliment. You know, it's like on a plane when they land the plane and everyone starts clapping. Yay, you didn't kill us. Yay.
Especially now.
You know? Especially fucking now. Yay, you did what you went to school for, you know? Planes. Sitting next to someone on a plane is a lot like a one-night stand. You meet someone and then you watch them sleep. You accidentally touch them, you're like, fuck, sorry. Got little tiny nuts in your mouth. Wake up in a foreign country. Okay, you get the idea of the analogy. But sex with strangers, sitting next to someone on a plane, yeah. Sex with strangers, STDs. I didn't only catch that disease from my ex, I also caught a few other diseases. Depression and OCD. No, I'm kidding. I had depression before, it's because my only texts are from AT&T. Had depression. A lot of people are like, what's depression like? It's not, a lot of people use the image of a rain cloud over your head. I prefer Shrek's asshole. It's very dark. Very dark. Hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Feels like you're suffocating in there. OCD, though. I do have OCD, not the clean type. I know that's like the common thing, but it's a misconception. I have like the dirty type, like I'm a piece of shit. I don't wash my hands 6 times. I just obsess over something for days at a time. But my ex had a different kind of OCD, obsessive compulsive diarrhea. In the shower once. Yeah, I was like, that's not cool. It's not a bidet. It's not a bidet. He's like, it's just a little bit. I'm like, that's enough for us to break up. That's what that is. But moral of the story, guys, is I'm single. That's what, okay? And I'll end it with that.
Layla Goldberg. Yeah, she's for fucking real, man. We'll get you up here next, but you got to be invited. So, you know, I'm coming out with this. Oh, Ralph made me do it. I'm coming out with some Big Bush energy. That's for you, Layla. And, you know, I'm dating myself here. I feel like, Layla, the things you'll learn in the next 20 years. I'm not in the STD phase of my life. I am now in the SDDD phase of my life. And that's not to be confused with an STD. It's a same dick, different day. I'm happily married. Same dick, different day. Okay, we're going to keep this going. Very funny man coming up to the stage. He is a Carbondale local. He's so fun to be around. He's just a joy. Please put your hands together for Diego.
How's it going, everybody? What up? Sup, Carbondale? What up? Oh, shit. Can't see you. Let me move this shit. I know you guys can't see me. All right. My name is Diego Gonzalez, unless you are Ice. So I'm John Smith. Just remember, okay, after all this, you know, you don't want to deport no more Mexicans, because this will be like just white people trying to make you laugh all night. Terrible. I don't know if you heard what's going on around the world, but the other day I hurt my toe. It was bad. Oh, man, I'm celebrating 38 years. Yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah, 38 years, yeah. And 3 years ago, I'm celebrating that I survived an explosion. Yeah. And I fly about, over 20 feet up in the air, hit my head, broke my legs, had, cracked a little bit on my back, and dislocated my finger. For people that actually knows me, like Mario, he used to sell me all the wood, up in Aspen. Yeah, he's the wood guy up in Aspen. Yeah, this guy right here. Yes, hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know Men's First Choice, That's all you need to know. He has OnlyFans now. Mario, the wood guy. That's how his wife likes to talk about him. Yes. Yeah. Don't you screw a lot, buddy? Don't you screw a lot? Poquito. Yes, that's right. That's right. Just remember, you're Mario, because ICE is around here, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I heard the other day that actually my cousin got arrested and got deported. Yeah. You guys know him as Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah, he got deported. He was going 85 right here, and and what's this road? Main Street. Yeah. But anyways, just to let you know, with everything that is happening, I mean, seriously, guys, be careful. I did my DNA test. Yeah. I got pulled over by a cop. He just gave me a look, and he goes, "Papers." I said, "Scissors." I win. And I drove away. Well, I think he wanted the rematch because he was following behind me really lights on and shit. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a GTA, kind of guy. Any players out there? Any gamers out there? Yeah? Young gamers? Man, I'm 38. I just started to play. I downloaded, I got a PS5 for Christmas. I downloaded the last Call of Duty. How can you cast a 10-year-old? How can you say, "Little motherfucker, stop killing me"? He's 10, and he's calling you, "You're my bitch, man. You're my little bitch. Look at you. I'm and killing me. How can you cast that? You get banned from online gaming. That sucks, man. So I'm getting my tough energy out of here, okay? Anyways, moving on. I've been here for 19 years, so sorry for my English. If it's something that you don't understand, you can always Google it. And Google is my wife, which is sitting right over there. Over there in the corner. One thing that, one thing that I gotta say about being in Carbondale is, I love the weed around here, man. I don't know if anybody high. Anybody high? Anybody high? No? Nobody? Well, I'm sorry. Well, I want to let you know, I got, don't worry. I mean, I married a white girl, so I got papers. So we can go outside. We can go outside and smoke a little. Okay? There you go, yeah. Anybody else married? Anybody married? How long you been married? How long you guys been? You 30 years? You've been married for 30 years? What? What's your name, buddy? Andy? Henry. Henry. How old are you, Henry? 17. And you're allowed to be out here? holy shit, you're white. Definitely. I can't see very well, but it seems like you're white. You're allowed to do shit that I couldn't when I was in Mexico. I don't know if you can tell, you know. I usually start with saying mahalo. Because I'm from the big island called Mexico City. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. I've been married for 19 years, and it's been really, really a happy life. Yeah, I'm just happy. She told me to say this, you know. Now, have you guys ever been on a relationship long enough to actually talk about your partner about having a crush with somebody in Hollywood? You know, have you ever had that like little pass? Well, my wife likes Ryan Reynolds. You know, Ryan Reynolds is a hot guy. You know, I gotta give it to the guy. You know. But the other day I came home, you know, and the house was a mess, and she was watching just movies with Ryan Reynolds. So I was like, hey, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Like, what does this guy has that I don't? She goes, really? And I said, okay. Well, let's. I mean, seriously, take the money away, you know, take the face away, you know, take the body away, you know. What do you get? She goes, you. I said, you know what? Okay. It's kind of ridiculous. She goes, and before you say anything else, you know, I just want to let you know. If you don't actually get in shape, we're not going to have sex anymore. And not just that. If you don't get the money, like, to support us, then you're not getting shit anymore. You know? And not just that. If you don't get a 20-inch dong, no more sex. And I was like, hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, man, I was pissed. Not just in trouble, I was pissed. Impossible. Not just impossible. Hold on, this is my answer right away. I said, listen, Linda. Linda, listen. I said, watch one, okay? And very good one. Just want to let you know. Give me just about, starting from 3, maybe 7 years. And I'll be the fucking body that I want, okay? 2, I said, I'm in a lawsuit because of this situation. The money, it's coming. I will buy my soccer team too, and I will have my Verizon, you know? Just like him, doesn't matter, you know? But just one thing. I won't cut 4 inches for your freaking discussion. No mames. No mames. Sí, güey. She didn't even believe that, man.
I got one right here, bro.
Yeah, I know, huh? I know. No matter how much you try, man. No matter how much. You know, I told my wife, I got married, and I told my wife, it was like, it's not the motion of the ocean. No, it's the heaviness on the wave, honey. Now, let me tell you, okay? 3 years ago, okay, I survived an explosion, and I was in a wheelchair, okay? And let me tell you, I learned a bunch of things about myself. One, it's fucking awesome to have sex in a wheelchair. But 1, put your brakes on or hold on for the fucking thing of your life. Like, really? Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, you know, you guys have been awesome. You know, I want to say thank you to the live patio for having me here tonight. I'm a local comedian. I've been trying this for a couple years. I was in a wheelchair, and I'm trying to stand-up comedy. But, you know, other than that, you guys have been an awesome audience. Keep it tight.
One more time for Diego, guys. Let's hear it for him. Yeah, help him down, Mario. Help him down. 20-inch dong, dude. Dang, god damn, son. That's a lot. I think that's over. I think it's overkill. Well, you know what's not overkill is bringing us our next comedian. I can't wait for you to see her. Big heads up. She is awesome. She runs a comedy show up in Snowmass every second Tuesday of the month. It's at the Stew Pot. So if you're ever up in those neck of the woods and want to check out a free and awesome comedy show, please swing by and check that out. And without further ado, let's put our hands together for Miss Jordan Lowe. Jordan!
It definitely is water. I'm not that cool. All right, my name is Jordan Lowe, as Mr. Miller Ford said. God, Diego is just the best, isn't he? That was so fun. I fucking love that guy. It's great. But I'm Jordan Lowe. Sounds like you guys didn't have like very spicy Valentine's Day. Maybe some of you guys did. That was like last week, right? Valentine's Day. Big whoop. I actually had a really fun one. I'm celebrating a very special anniversary, going on 4 whole years with my gynecologist. So, yeah, shout out to our matchmaker, Obamacare. Couldn't have done it without you, boo. Hell yeah. My gyno is so sweet, you guys. So this year for our anniversary, she surprised me with a ring. That's right. I know, it really took me by surprise. Yeah, so I have what every girl wants now, a big, fat, shiny Nuva ring. Yeah. Yeah, I would show it to you, but my hands are dirty right now, so I'll just have to wait. Yeah, she really surprised me. I had no idea it was coming. I was in her office in my cutest little paper dress, and she got down on one knee. She said, "Jordan, will you please accept this ring?" No, seriously, stop clenching. Can't get it in there. So that was my Valentine's Day. Pretty similar to Layla's, sounds like. Yeah, getting manhandled. We like that though, don't we, Layla? All right, so did anybody else get the like super bug that was going around? In Aspen, we call it the Aspen crud. What do you call it here, the Carbondale crap? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like the bug everybody passes around and around and around, and it gets stronger and worse and worse and worse. Yeah, I had that shit for like 6 weeks. The shit that I was hacking up and spitting out was like a crime against humanity, okay? And it went on for 6 weeks. It was like a spigot that couldn't be turned off. So fucking gross. And 6 weeks later, I can tell you confidently, that Hawk Tuah girl got nothing on this. Oh, man, I'm a pro at Hawk-Tuing now. Yeah, and I'll tell you this, the shit that I was expelling from my lungs, I wouldn't spit on my worst enemy's dick. It was, I don't know what that girl was talking about. So fucking gross. So, I mean, I feel a little bit better now. You know, I've been doing normal people things, like going to the grocery store, working out. My dog and I went to the vet a few days ago. Good news, I'm heartworm negative. Once again, thanks to Obamacare. Woo! No, but any other pet owners out there? Anybody? Yeah? Nice. Yeah, you have a cat for sure. Absolutely. Vet bills are so much fun, aren't they? They're so much fun. I was loving my dog's vet bills so much that I went out and bought myself an entire horse. Yeah. Yep, 1 whole horse later, and I'm living the dream. It's more of a financial nightmare, technically, but it's still a dream, right? At its core. So my horse is an Aspen horse. He's bougie as hell, okay? He gets his teeth done every year, which is more than me, in case you can't tell. So he gets his teeth done every year, and at the same appointment, he gets his dick cleaned. Yeah, that's what you have to do. These guys out here, they're like, is that an option that I should be asking about? Once a year. I know, it's a little more than you, right? Once a year. Hey, hey, sorry. I'm so, fuck. I know, I'm an asshole. I'm so sorry. So, okay. This is a party foul. Party foul. You know what? Just for that, I'm going to look at my notes. There. Okay. So, my horse gets his dick cleaned. This is a real fucking thing. And it's not an option for him like it is for everyone else. He has to get it done because I'm not going to do it. And I will pay any amount of money for the vet tech to do it. Literally. I'm like, name your fucking price. So when they go to the vet and they clean his teeth, he has to be totally sedated. His entire body is totally sedated. So it's the perfect time to clean his while it's, menacingly dangling there in front of your fucking face. Yeah, it's a real thing. So the reason it gets so dirty is because, let me finish, is because he had his cherries picked, and so it gets dirty, okay? So he only ever uses it to pee. So he's in the same exact boat as Joe Biden. Fuck. Thank you for letting me finish that goddamn long horse dick joke. That took so long. All of that. That's a new joke. Probably won't be running that again. I am exhausted. Holy shit. So it wasn't always like this hard and I shouldn't have said that. It wasn't always this expensive owning a horse. In fact, it was like really chill up until 2020. Like most things in the world were a lot more chill before 2020. You see, what happens is when you lock Americans up in their homes for months on end, they turn straight to horse drugs, straight away. Y'all remember this in quarantine? Half the country was experimenting with horse dewormer, and the other half was experimenting with horse tranquilizer. Right, Carbondale? Yeah. Obviously, nobody here does ketamine, because if they did, they would fucking tell me immediately. Immediately. God. I used to think that coke heads were annoying until I met ketamine users. Holy shit. So neither of them have any self-awareness, right? Neither one of them. But the thing about cokeheads is that makes them really hard to ditch. We've all been there. You're at a bar, you're being talked at by somebody. We've all been to Belly Up. I'm fucking preaching to the choir right now. You guys know what I'm talking about. Coincidentally, the zero self-awareness is what makes ketamine users really, really easy to ditch, right? They're drooling on themselves, they're in a K-hole. There's only 2 steps here. All you have to do, first of all, don't make eye contact, okay? You don't want to threaten them. Don't make eye contact, okay? Slowly back away, like you've encountered the world's most uncoordinated mountain lion. You can use that in the future when you come across a mountain lion. Very welcome. So I think they're even worse when they're not in a K-hole, personally. I feel like people who use ketamine think they're so much fucking better than everyone else. And all they want to do is talk to you about A, themselves, and B, DJs. My God. My fucking God. I think that's why they blend in so well around here. Holy shit. I think, honestly, the biggest reason they annoy me is because where I'm from, the preferred horse drug is not ketamine. It is, in fact, ivermectin, 100%. All the cool kids are doing it, every one of them. I'm so fucking serious right now. It's a real problem. I mean, they have taken this way too far, okay? Way too far. They're using it like mayonnaise. They're marinating their chicken in it. My cousin Kyle runs around, tells everyone who will listen that he is famous for his Ivor mac and cheese. Yeah. First place at the state fair 3 years in a row. Yeah, super annoying. And I don't want to talk too much shit about where I'm from. Honestly, what's not to like? It's pretty charming. It's diverse and vibrant and bustling and just really everything you'd expect Kansas to be. Yeah. But it's the people, you guys, that really get under my skin. My family, in particular, really pisses me off. The past few years have caused them to become, how can I say this nicely, completely fucking insufferable? Yeah, those are the words. Yeah, oh, those fucking Swifties. No, it's so much worse than that. So I went home for Christmas. I don't know why I did that in 2024. I have all the regrets, From the moment I got there to the moment that I left, all they wanted to do was talk about this fucking guy. okay? They're obsessed with him. And I think you guys know who I'm talking about at this point. I'm not going to say it. But he's, I mean, they've made their whole personalities about him. I've seen this firsthand. I mean, I went home, they had the fucking hats and the t-shirts and the stickers and the doormats and the flags, and holy fuck, it was like sickening. It was sickening, okay? Let me finish. All right, so fuck, you guys. So I think the past couple weeks, so much stuff has happened that there's a glimmer of hope, you know? I feel like maybe, just maybe, they think, oh, I might have misjudged this guy's character. You know, maybe he's not as great as I thought he was. And that really, honestly, brings me a lot of hope, because it makes me feel like someday my family will denounce their false idol, Patrick Mahomes. I'm out of breath. My name is Jordan Lowe. You guys have been awesome.
Jordan Lowe, yeah. My girl J-Lo, she's so fun. She's really funny, and the long dick joke was, the long horse dick joke was particularly funny. I thought I hadn't heard that one yet. Okay, so next up, my co-founder in Patio Night Live. He's a founding member of Consensual Improv. If you've gone to any of the improv shows here in the Valley, please put your hands together and give a big warm welcome to Mr. Miller Ford.
What's up? Give it up for yourselves. Steve's Guitars. Come on, give it up for yourselves. Give it up. And one more time for Ralph. Yes, and one more time for the comedians. They're doing a great job with what I've been witnessing. I love Steve's Guitars because you can fucking give out booze to the audience. Who needs a drink? You need a drink, my good friend. I brought you something, Mario. Jaeger for you, buddy. You must be out of your fucking mind if you think I'm giving you anything. Yes, I got two more. Who else? Mario, here's another. Oh, yeah, you're in a. Here you go, buddy. Here you go, brother. There you go. Nice. Nice. Heads up. Hey, when the silent parts come, that means the punchline's coming, okay? So that's probably not a good time for you to start talking in the middle of it. No, I love it, and I love you, and I love everybody here. But just a heads up, the silent parts means punchlines coming. And I'm the wrong motherfucker to ruin my punchline, I'll tell you that right now. Oh, God, I love you guys. I love doing comedy even more. I love doing comedy because I get to come on stage, and you guys get to immediately judge me by how I look. You know, because I know I look like a guy who rides his skateboard to AA meetings. Which is partially true. I rollerblade to those things, you know? I know I look like a guy who, when he brings a girl home, he shows her pictures out of his yearbook, you know, his senior yearbook. And that's partially true. I just show her my quotes, you know, because that's much cooler. I know I look like the type of guy who woke up nude on his neighbor's front doorstep cuddling their Labrador retriever. And I am that guy. I did do that. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you. The good part was there was like 5 landscapers just staring at me and laughing, which was awesome. I know I look like the guy who could name at least 5 Dave Matthews Band songs. And I can. Deep cuts for sure, always. Some Jethro Tull in there. And I know I look like a guy who lost it all in the divorce. And then lost it again to cryptocurrency. And then lost it one more time buying Tony Hawk memorabilia. Yeah. And I am that guy. But lastly, I know I look like the guy who at least once a week says, I remember before there were cell phones. And I totally am that fucking guy. And I'm telling you right now, I kind of do miss landlines because there's nothing like calling a house at 3 a.m. and fucking up an entire family's sleeper pattern. There's nothing louder than the 3 a.m. landline call. You know what I mean? Whatever happened, I don't know why that was so fucking loud. It was like a fucking bomb warning. No, I'm happy to be here in Carbondale. I did shave before this show, but I didn't shower just so I could fit in a little better down here. I put my patchouli on. And I'm also tripping my balls off on mushrooms. So, like, I feel like I'm right into Carbondale. No, I'm kidding. I'm sober. No, I can't talk shit, though. I can't talk shit. I'm from Alabama. So, like, well, who am I to talk shit about anywhere, you know? Like, when I tell people I'm from Alabama, it's a lot like telling somebody I own a hairless cat, you know? It's definitely exactly like when I tell somebody I'm from Alabama, it's like telling them I own a hairless cat. Because immediately they think I'm weird, they're slightly intrigued, and they never want to see it. Yeah, it's exactly like it. But they might want to touch it because it feels like a ball sack, you know? But that's a cat, not Alabama. But Alabama's like the Limp Bizkit of states, okay? Let's just be honest. Everybody kind of likes it, but we don't know why. You know? It's Forrest Gump, let's be honest. We all hate Jenny. That's what it all comes down to. But I do love telling people I'm from Alabama because every now and then there's like this follow-up question that blows my fucking mind. I'll say, yeah, I'm from Alabama, and the person will look at me dead in the eye and go, how did you get here? And I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, how did you get here? And I'm like, what do you want me to fucking say? I dug a hole under the state line and fucking ran for it? Like, what? No, what I think they want from me is like a war-torn antebellum story, you know? Like I stole away in the middle of the night with nothing but what I could carry. And I trudged my way through the Louisiana swamps and finally made my way up to the Kansas Flats where the wind almost blew me away. And then I got to Denver to a place called Colfax where they made me do terrible things. And then I finally got here to Carbondale 3 years later with nothing left but my life. No, I got in my car and I drove here, Karen. Like, what the fuck do you want? Like, how? Anybody? But I do love being here in Colorado. I love being here in Colorado. Is anybody here on edibles? Yep. Mario, you don't even smoke weed, dude. Anybody on edibles? There's one. There's at least 3 liars in the audience. So, I mean... You ever take a bite out of an edible and throw the other half on the ground just hoping a critter has the best day of their life? You know, like maybe a fox has a euphoric afternoon. Maybe a squirrel finally takes the day off, you know? Or maybe a couple of ants drag it back to the mound and wonder who the fuck they've been working for. Have you ever even seen the queen, Gary? Nobody sees the queen, Todd, you know? But that's how us Coloradans save the environment, you know? Just throw your edibles on the ground. It's much better than recycling. At least we know where it goes, you know? You know, but there's a lot of shit going on. Like, every time you turn on the news, there's something new that could probably piss you off or make you happy, depending on who you are. And there's a lot of PC shit going on. And I like some of it. I don't like other parts of it. But what blows my mind is, like, I've never heard once during this PC stuff, like the most ridiculed minority ever. I never hear them brought up, not a single time. I've never heard anybody bring up redheads. Like, what? I mean, the most riddled. Do we have any gingers in the audience tonight? Good. No, I mean, it's just like, because like the gingers, you can still say shit like beat them like a redheaded stepchild, you know, nobody bats an eye. Nobody bats an eye. It's crazy, you know, and I know why they have that saying. It's because they're so pale you can see the marks better, you know. No, but I'm not up here like a redheaded bigot, not at all. I have a redheaded friend, you know. I totally get it. I can talk about it. But it's crazy because here's the deal with redheads. I mean, nobody takes up for them, and I kind of know why. It's because they're so fucking creepy. You know, they're just creepy. Because here's the deal. Like, I could see any minority, a huge group of any minority walk by outside. And if I see 4 redheads walk by, I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Is this the fucking Twilight Zone? Is there a direct flight from Scotland? Like, what is happening? Where do all these redheads come from? No, There's a lot of shit changing. There's a lot of shit changing. One of the things, there was what the fuck are you talking about, Mario? Are you just saying every fucking joke I'm saying, dude? Like, are you just fucking talking the whole time? You're so retarded. Drink some of that Jägermeister, dude. I love it. I love it. He's like a sound effect. Every time I say a line, he's like, changing. Shit's changing. Jethro Tull. Shit's changing. Guys, you got to give it up for Mario a little bit because he's a jarhead. You know, he'll let you know. It's just like Marines are just like Marines are just like vegans and CrossFitters. They'll tell you that they're a Marine within the first 5 seconds of like meeting them. But the reason why he's like this is because of all the crayons he ate in the military. It's just that's what happened to him. He's just got a little bit of a learning disability, and I do love the motherfucker with all my heart. He's one of my best people. No, but shit is changing, and it's funny because like not long ago, a CEO got shot, and like, how do we feel about that? Like, is anybody? Yeah, and it's weird because like I haven't heard the support of someone's death like that since like Hitler died, I guess. I don't really know what's going on with that, but I can tell you is that like the American populace is just indifferent when a rich person dies. They're just completely indifferent. And I have Exhibit A right here. Like as soon as those people that were in that submarine going to look at the Titanic, it exploded. 5 minutes later, I was on my phone laughing at memes about that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just know it's inevitable. I know it's inevitable that one of those, like, rich people, like, shuttle vacations to space, when one of those explode, I'm going to be on my phone 2 minutes later, like, looking at a meme that says they wanted to get closer to God, but I guess they were rich enough to meet him. Like that's just inevitable. Mark my word. But guys, I don't know if you guys can tell by looking at me, but I've made some huge. What could you tell, Mario? What can you tell? What can you tell, Mario? I want to know. Can you tell by looking at me that I've made some huge mistakes in my life? Like inviting you to this show? Like, I cannot believe I called you to come to this show. This is like probably, you're probably not going to be invited to the next one, I promise, dude. I love you, though. But I have made, anybody else make any huge mistakes in their life? Other than Mario? Joey, what do you got? What's your huge mistake, dude? You got a huge mistake? Ah, nice. And I know where you work. That's awesome. That's awesome. No, I've made some huge mistakes in my life, but I would have to say that the main mistake is that I've been arrested a lot. I don't know if you guys can tell by looking at me. I've been arrested a lot. I mean, I'm from Alabama, and so it's like easy to get arrested there. But I've been arrested a lot, and by a lot, I mean like 2, 3, 9 times. Okay. Anybody got me beat? Anybody? You've never been arrested. Shut up. No, but I figured I would tell you about my favorite arrest, which was whenever the cop was throwing me in the back of the cop car, and my best friend runs up and he goes, "What are you arrested him for?" And the cop, without skipping a beat, looked at him right in the eye and goes, "Clowning around," which is a 3rd-degree misdemeanor in Alabama, if you didn't know. It's also called drunk and disorderly. But I will say, before I get off stage, I figured, since I'm opening up to you guys, I should let you know about the 9th arrest, which I like to call my apex arrest, or the arrest to end all other arrests. I don't necessarily remember it, but luckily the Associated Press does, you know? So they definitely helped me out with that blackout. And, you know, it really all started with this Aspen Times article written back in, like, October 2015. And it really shows some, like, character attributes of mine. I really can't wait for you to hear the headline, which reads, "Man says, of course it's cocaine up my nose, it's Aspen." Yeah. I mean, and look, it's And from there, it just like, let's get to the meat and potatoes of it, you know? Here's a good line. Here's a good line from the article. The police became aware of Ford's presence when they heard the loud chopping noise of a credit card on a park bench. Now, I don't know where you guys are doing your cocaine, but I'm doing it outside like a real Coloradan, the way God intended, you know? But let's dive a little deeper. Let's get to the headline, you know? So this line, they said, when they shined the flashlight on Ford's nose and asked what the white powdery substance was, Ford responded, "Of course it's cocaine up my nose, it's Aspen." And you know, I gotta tell you right now that was not my first option. Like I did have something in the Rolodex that I wanted to say, and it was, no, I've been baking cakes. But I like to think that something bigger than me, maybe the little baby Jesus, came down and whispered in my ear and said, "That's not funny enough. You're not going to go viral with that one." So I said, of course it's cocaine up my nose. It's Aspen. And the rest is history. But I can tell you right now, I like to call this not only the beginning of my comedy career, but also my retirement article, because I quit doing drugs and alcohol after this was written about me. Because, like, I appreciate it. You guys should give yourselves a big round of applause for being able to drink like normal people. Yeah, I am a quitter. But I'll tell you this, if you don't quit after an article like that, the Betty Ford Clinic ain't going to fucking help you. But I'm happy I could be here on stage witnessing you laugh instead of like you laughing at me on your fucking couch reading that article. So guys, thanks so much for coming out tonight. Thanks so much. All right. And we got one more comedian coming up for you. It's a good friend of mine. I absolutely love her. Like she said, she's my comedy cohort. She's my comedy sister in arms. She has an awesome article that comes out every other week in the Aspen Daily News, so check that out. And without further ado, let's put our hands together for Beth Brandon.
Hi, guys. How's it going? You've been a good crowd, hearty laughers. Let's do this. You know what? I was going to add to the list of, I wrote it down, the list of, you know, the people who'll tell you about it right away, jugheads, vegans, CrossFitters. You know, they'll tell you within the first 5 minutes. People from Carbondale. No? Is that just, they only do it to people who, like, live in Aspen? They're like, I'm from Carbondale. And I'm like, I just wanted paper or plastic, you know what I mean? Like, and they're like, Carbondale. They come at you with that big dick energy, and you're like, I just wanted a snack. Anyway, well, now you're back, so we can start. I thought I'd start off the top with a blowjob joke, just straight away. Yeah, but now that I'm married, I don't have to, so. I've been married for 13 years, so my husband loves that joke. Yes, thank you. Swallows the true love, the bird of true love. And my husband loves that joke, but it still works, so I still do it. There's a lot of things that still work, so I still do it. Little finger in the butthole every time. Okay, so I have lived in Aspen for almost 24 years. It's dating myself. I moved here when I was 4. So I know, kind of crazy. But I have lived in Aspen for a long time, and I actually lived in Carbondale first, and then I got a job up there, and then I moved. So I used to live over on Sopris, for those of you who, you know, want to ride your bike down and be like, I used to live here. Anyway, but being, as you know, being like saying you live in Aspen, you can't just like say that to people, right? I mean, I get we're probably mostly Carbondale locals, right? Make some noise. Yes, there you go. So like you probably get asked at the airport when you're making vacation friends. My husband and I love to travel like in the off seasons. We don't have kids. So we're like, let's go here, hither, thither, and yon. Let's do this. And you make friends at the airport, at the resort, whatever. And then people are like, where are you from? And you can't just tell them Aspen right away. You kind of got to like Be gentle about that. You say the Down Valley Trash of Aspen. I've played with some things over the years. I'm like, the Roaring Fork Valley. And they're like, I do not know what you're fucking talking about. You know what, but more recently, I've been like, Colorado. And, big mistake there. They love Colorado. They're like, oh my God, where in Colorado are you from? I went in Idaho Springs once. I stopped at a gas station. You know, and you're like, yeah, I'm from Idaho Springs. I don't know if anybody's from Idaho Springs, but if you are, make some noise. So, like I said, we've played around with this, and then we kind of look at each other, and like one of us takes cover, the other one like holds the pin in their teeth and like cocks back, and we're like, we're from Aspen, and these people who we've been chumming around with, we're planning drinks with, their faces physically change. They're like, ah, and then they're like, it's like. They're pained. And, you know, it's like the gold brick that I carry around with me. It's like I took it and I smacked him across the face and said, I hate the poor. You know? It's kind of like that. So then I'm like, relax. I'm in boarding group 6 with you. Like, this is not my assistant's mistake. I made this choice on purpose. Are you sure you don't want a non-refundable ticket? Yeah, I want the cheapest one available. The only time I flew boarding group 1 was on Frontier, and we all know what that's like, right? That's the only time I flew boarding group 1. I got on the plane and found out it was a folding chair that didn't recline. I was like, what the Okay, so much for those extra dollars I spent on that boarding group 1. Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting to say, because I grew up in a very middle-class, Midwestern existence, so to say I'm from Aspen is kind of weird. And, you know, I'm just rich adjacent is all I'm saying. I know the difference between rich, and I am but rich adjacent. But I have been there for 24 years, so there's like this slippery slope. You know, if you're not careful, you can become a judgy poor. You know, because like you have friends in the restaurant business, like you've tried all the things, you volunteered at Food and Wine, you know what it's supposed to taste like. And then you become a judgy poor. So like this last summer, my husband's best friend, and he grew up in like rural Pennsylvania, so his best friend comes in to visit us, and we take him out last night to dinner. We're like, we're gonna take you out to this place, great tacos. And he's like, oh, yeah, do they have hard shell tacos? And we're like, shh, don't say that out loud. People don't eat hard shell tacos at restaurants. Even people in Silt know that you don't eat hard shell tacos in restaurants. I'm like, that's like old El Paso. This is like new El Paso. I'm just saying, Aspen locals were an interesting breed. We're bucking the trend that like basic economy and hard shell tacos don't necessarily go hand in hand. We're a different bunch. My friend over here, he's like, Down Valley trash. I love it. Me too. Do you like hard shell tacos? You went to El Paso? Did they serve you hard shell tacos? No, they did. Of course. Just on Tuesdays is the hard shell variety. When the gringos are like, I've got shredded lettuce and hard shell tacos I've been heating. Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna move on from that. No, I was talking about vaping versus smoking a little bit with Miller earlier, and you know, like I said, I just am like good old-fashioned smoking cigarettes. Like that's the way to die early, not vaping. And if you know me, you know I'm just kind of an old-fashioned gal. That's just sort of like how I roll. Like, I mean, you should see the hand crank on my vibrator. Sure is cumbersome, but it gets the job done every time. Little WD-40, right as rain. Ew, Mario. Talk to Tanya about her hand crank on her vibrator, okay? Like I said, I'm just saying I'm like a woman of a certain age. I'm not old. I may be, to some young men in this room, a cougar. You know, I don't know. I don't want to like brag, but like like I said, I'm not old, but in the last 2 years, I have had shingles and my first colonoscopy. So what? All the shingle ladies, all the shingle ladies, all the shingle ladies, put your hands up, because this is where I found it. It was right there, the shingles. I didn't know. I thought you had to be over 50 to get shingles, and apparently that's just the vaccine. You can get shingles at any old time as long as you've had the chicken pox. Just a little public service announcement for you. I came home from Denver and thought I had bed bugs and was like, what the fuck? And my husband got up in there and he's like, no, it's just a rash. Let's go on a mountain bike ride. And I was like, fine. And then it like itched more and hurt more, and turns out it was shingles. So good times. Yeah, exactly. That's right. I looked good with shingles, man. I just wore like loose blouses with flower prints. Couldn't wear a bra, but anyway, so yeah, cool. I'm gonna move on from the venereal disease joke and move on to working in high-end retail. So I, along with another fellow comedian, work high-end retail in Aspen, and boy, is that a treat. Right, so I know some of the ladies in here, you might be also of that certain age of me. There's 4 ladies in here. No, there's like 5. But did anybody enjoy Pretty Woman as like a teen? Woo! Guys, you can too. It was one of my favorite movies. Who didn't love that? Hooker with a heart of gold, right? Yeah, big mistake, huge. So life has really come full circle for me, because now I work high-end retail in Aspen, and I get to say to all the prostitutes that come in, it's very expensive, right? Like, what like, wow, full circle. And it's like a dream come true, except for, hello, did she not work on commission? Because, like, don't be a bitch. And I'm like, let's start a fitting room, come on. And why there's an uptick in prostitutes in the winter, I'm not really sure. It seems to be a ski season thing. Hookers and snow, I mean... But I guess, right, snow, hookers, coke. Yep, see, now it makes sense. Now it makes perfect sense. That's why you want hookers when it's snowing. Okay, but the thing is, it's a little less Pretty Woman shopping bonanza montage and a little bit more Jeffrey Epstein's scary ski trip. You know, because they're like kind of young. And I'm always like, blink twice if you need help. No? Okay. Shopping spree! Let's do this! You know? They came straight from Beginner's Magic with the short skis, and now they're shopping till they drop down on their knees. But anyway, that is where I work. So I do, like I said, work high-end retail, and it's so weird because you can take this nice Midwestern girl out of the Midwest, but you can't take the Midwest out of the girl. And in Aspen, there's this fun game I like to play, and it's wife or daughter. Wife or daughter. And it really should be girlfriend or daughter, because it's usually not a wife. And it's never a daughter, by the way. Ever. Ever, not once. Hasn't been a daughter, not gonna be a daughter. And so this lovely young woman came in the other day, and she, was like fair-haired and wrinkleless, so I realized that could have put her in a large range of ages, but she kind of looked like she was in her early 30s. I know there's a lot of Botox where I live, but she seemed young. And so then I go back in and check on her, and just like a sliver of her dressing room was open, and then I see like male salt and pepper hair sitting on the bench inside the room. And I was like, ugh, like, why is she in there with her dad? And I'm like, fuck, it's not her dad. It's never her dad. And then they came back a second time, and I'm like, yep, sure not her dad. That's her husband or boyfriend or something. Yay. Yay. I feel like I'm losing my spot a little bit tonight. I don't know. Do you want me to talk about venereal disease or the naked house? How about we talk about the naked house? Yeah. Okay, so I live in a naked house. Does anybody else here live in a naked house? Nobody enjoys naked time? Come on, it's good special time. You should be able to like be free for like 10 minutes a day and just walk around naked. Okay, maybe it's just me, but you should try it. And I don't have kids, which is why it's a lot easier for me to walk around naked whenever I want. Which brings me of a quick naked story side. I mean, my husband likes to be naked, and I think it's honestly just because he likes to put his balls on the couch, right, Ralph? It's a velour couch. It feels good.
Do you have a dog?
I do. That's just really gross, you guys. My husband would never let our female dog child lick his balls. That's gross. But we are dog sitting. So we're dog sitting. we watch this one dog quite a bit because the money is just too good. And they sent their little dog with, which they normally take with on the plane in the purse, but we got her for a couple days. And like, you know, dogs sometimes in a new place don't poop right away or whatever because they're like nervous. It's not their routine. So like 2 nights, I think we'd had 2 nights in, and my husband's like, "Did you see Ruby poop? She hasn't pooped for me yet." And I was like, "No, she hasn't pooped for me yet either." And I'm like, Jesus, like, it's fucking like 2 days. I mean, she's like a tiny hairy football, but she's still been eating quite a bit, and she's gonna have to poop soon. So I was like making sure. I took her out, and I was like, okay, still nothing? Great. So go to sleep, think nothing of it. Next morning I wake up, and we're early birds, and my husband's up. I'm still like laying in bed. It's like 5:45 or something, and he gets up, and I hear him going around to talk to like the other dog and greet one of the dogs that sleeps in our room. And then I hear him go, "Oh shit! God damn it! I stepped in shit!" This is the naked story. I just need this visual. I know you don't know what he looks like. But I'm like, you know, imagine somebody's been shot. I'm like, what? I get out of bed, and he steps in shit, and then I see him, and he's totally naked. And he's put both the balls of his feet in shit. And he's just like, and then he goes, "Help me!" I was like, that is going to live rent-free in my mind for so long. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Help me! I don't want to track it everywhere. And so then he's walking on his heels, dangling. It was so fucking funny. Wish you guys could have been there for that. Okay, so we're a naked house. Oh, I laughed so hard. And then he has this amazing gag reflex. If he smells anything, he goes, "Woo!" And his dad has it too. They both, I've heard them in the same car, like smell a dog fart and go, "Woo!" His mom and I just evil laugh. Okay, so back to naked house, balls on couch. And so the other day, I'm getting ready for work, and I decided to put some water on for tea. And it's in the kettle, or, you know, it's doing its thing. I go take a shower, and I get out of the shower, and I'm lotioning up, and then I hear my husband walk through the front door, and he's like, "I'm home." I'm like, cool. So I'm putting lotion on, and it's that time of the month, so I got to put a tampon in. Oh, my God. Irma, you precious baby. It's a fact of life. So I put a tampon in, and I think nothing of it, because we're a naked house, right? And then I hear the whistle, and my husband's like, "Your tea is ready." So I run down the hallway, and I got there really quickly because I live in employee housing, so the hallway is that big. And I get to the kitchen, and I take the kettle off, totally naked, and behind me, my husband's at the dishwasher. And he opens up the dishwasher, and the dishwasher's letting out all that steam, you know? And he's like, "Hey, you want a little steam for that ass?" And I'm like, "Well, don't mind if I do." Ooh. And then it gets really quiet, and I'm like, "Oh." And I look back at him, and he's like, "Why, I didn't know if I was supposed to pull the ripcord." And I mean, that man never expected to see that little mouse tail before in his whole entire life, and he was scarred for weeks. And I thought to myself, my God, woman, you work high-end retail. You should know better. Like, you should never leave the price tag hanging out. And I said, you know, "Was my price tag hanging out? Oh, my God." And then, you know, because I have this versed knowledge in Pretty Woman and all things retail, I just turned around and said, "It's very expensive." Thank you. I am going to leave you with one more. Just one more, because it's from all my fun work stories. I used to sell art in Aspen. And do you guys know in January what kind? We get two international guests. Anybody familiar with what they are or who they are? Australians. In January, it's Aussies, because they love to celebrate Australia Day. It's great. Everything's great. They're so happy. They're the most charming tourists we get. They're so lovely. They don't spend a dime, but you know. And then the other ones are Brazilianaires. You know what I'm talking about. And the people from Brazil that visit Aspen in January have so much money that they drip it, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, a $100 bill just dripped off of you. And people from Brazil are also some of the most beautiful people in the world. They're gorgeous. Do not look them directly in the eye. They will let you know when they need help. Just, you know, they'll do one of these, but that's my experience, right? So this woman walks into the gallery I'm working at, and I mean, she is drop dead gorgeous. I don't even swim in the lady pond, and I'm like, woo, I'm like so nervous. And she's just really pretty, so I start talking to her a little bit, and then I'm like, you are gonna make a fool of yourself, so zip it. And I gather myself and say, you know, if you have any other questions about the art or the artist himself, please let me know. My name is Beth. Sorry, what was your name? And she was like, Arara. And I was like, oh God, you can take the girl out of the Midwest, but one more time. And she was like, Arara. And I was like, okay, I will be right over here at the desk if you have any questions about the art. My name is Beth. And like when I said it back to her, it was a cross between like a speech impediment and a blowjob demonstration, except for I used teeth. I was like, ha 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 ha. Okay, you guys, my name's Beth Brandon. That's my time.
We're going to bring everybody up on
That's
stage.
a great show. Like, we love you guys.
Thanks so much for coming out to
Please come join
see
us
tonight.
at Steve's. We're here once a month. Oops, sorry, buddy.
We're going to get a nice
And we're
old
gonna get a
selfie,
selfie.
guys, with you in it. Oh, let me turn this thing around. All right, everybody, put your hands up. Yeah! Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
We'll
Steve's
be here
Guitars.
next
Good night,
month
Steve and
on the
Ralph.
20th, the same day, same time. Check us out. You're not invited. Anybody who stays